Welcome to Sounding Fury. I am Eric Wilfred Watson, and my hat does not represent my taste in music whatsoever.
And I'm Hugh Frank, and all your bass are belong to us.
Today, we are going to take a break from watching Marvel stuff, because lately we've been talking about What If, Loki, WandaVision. We've been doing a recap of all the Marvel movies. Now we get to talk about DC a little bit. The Suicide Squad is the newest DC Extended Universe movie, which is a quasi-reboot / sequel of Suicide Squad, called The Suicide Squad. Because apparently the other Suicide Squad was just a Suicide Squad, but this is The Suicide Squad.
It is The Suicide Squad, which doesn't make sense because there was actually 2 Suicide Squads in the Suicide Squad. I can't even say it.
It should be called The Suicide Squads.
It should be, but that would kind of give away the twist. Spoiler warning, there's a twist.
So, what did you think of The Suicide Squad?
It had me up until the freaking starfish at the end looked like it should be in a commercial for some kind of gummy worms. There were some elements of this movie that I really enjoyed. I liked, not this that was necessarily continuity, but I liked that it took place on Corto Maltese, which, the original DC movie for me was the 1989 Batman. Vicky Vale was a photographer. She took photographs in Corto Maltese.
I'm impressed that you got that connection.
Yes, and so there's, you don't really know what it was really from the context of that movie, but the skulls.
Ah, now that's good work. The skulls, the bodies, you give it all such a glow. I don't know if it's art, but I like it.
The bodies, I don't know if it's art, but I like it. So yeah, it's that continuity was really cool to me. We got to see a little bit more of like what was happening over there. Everything about it just kind of went out the window when the starfish kind of got out of the building and started dancing around. He looked really, he looked fun. Actually, he didn't look menacing.
You want to give him a hug?
Yeah, he looked like a big fun, like he should be in a commercial.
I'm happily destroying buildings. This is fun.
Yeah. It was cool. The one guy said, "It's a kaiju," which should have really alerted Idris Elba, since he was fighting kaiju in his Pacific Rim job that he had before he had this job.
Yeah, after the movie was over, I sent you a text message saying something like, you're either going to love this movie or hate this movie. It could go either way. So it's kind of both.
I kind of loved it up until I hated it.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't hate it. The only thing I would change is the looks of that monster.
Yeah.
And other than that, Harley Quinn, of course, is my favorite, and she's had, this is what, her third or fourth outing? Third. In the whole sequence where everything is flowers and she's killing people and flowers are coming out of them.
Yeah, it shows that she's a little bit not right in the head.
Yeah, and she's just awesome. And then the sequence where she's like, "You were gonna come rescue me? I can go back up." It's very in character. It's perfect, absolutely perfect.
For about the first half of the movie, I had cramping cheeks because I was smiling the whole time watching this thing, even though it's graphically violent.
Very.
And you should not watch this with your children.
Oh God.
But
yeah, I tried to, and I had to shut it off literally in the first 15 seconds. Daddy, why did he kill that bird?
Yeah.
No, he's not dead. He's fine. He just got knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I was like a perpetual smile on my face the first half of the movie. I'm like, this is wonderful. I'm just going to bask in the awesomeness of this. But yeah, then it kind of got a little silly and a little off the rails, and they went a little bit too far with stuff where I just couldn't quite follow with them the way they were going. But overall, I liked it more than you. I liked the Starfish more after I had the chance to digest it for a few days after seeing it. Especially when I did some research afterwards and found out that that's pretty comic book accurate. They really did have a giant starfish that latched onto people's faces.
That concept was pretty cool. It was very alien, but it took the next step. It was like a mind control, and everybody saw through the eye out of the starfish and stuff, and that was neat. I didn't like how it just kind of let them go. Like this whole army of zombies rises up, and they're like, "The city is mine," and they move on, and it's like, you could have just killed the people.
Yeah.
It was classic villain syndrome, basically. I've got a giant master plan, and I'm going to overlook the small details that would allow me to accomplish it.
Yeah. I also was a little bit of an eye roll when all of the little starfish people that got attached to all... The only people that didn't get starfishes on their face, everybody except the Suicide Squad for some reason, which makes no sense.
No.
Especially Harley Quinn, who has no superpowers. She's just crazy and has a bat. She's not really a superhero, which I don't understand why she's on the team. But
yeah, she did end up with with that spear at the end, I guess. But I'm just waiting for her to wield the giant, comically large hammer that the mallet that she did in the cartoon. So maybe that'll be in the next one. I'm always disappointed when I don't see her wielding the comically large mallet.
Because that was your introduction to her, was the animated series.
Yes.
So I liked the fake out at the beginning.
That was cool. That was very cool.
They did like this is the hero montage. They even had him like walking slow motion in front of the American flag. And then when they got to their destination, it turned into a comic book Saving Private Ryan Normandy landing.
Yes, which is ironic because Nathan Fillion was in both of those.
And then the guy from Saturday Night Live got his face blown off.
Yes, that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm the one who called you!
But then they cut away to the real Suicide Squad, which Harley Quinn was in the fake Suicide Squad, but she was able to survive anyway.
Armor. Yeah. And that's... I love everything about the Harley Quinn character. Unfortunately, she's going to make it through the movie because there would be riots if she died. So it's her in a dangerous situation in a movie is like, okay, well, how's she going to get out of it?
Yeah. That's true with almost every comic book movie.
Yeah.
Like to pretend
that's
that,
true.
like Iron Man. Oh, come on, he's
that's
well.
true.
I take that back. He died, but
But
if you're watching the movie Iron Man 2 or 3,
I
guess Iron Man 3 would be the analogy because this is basically Suicide Squad 3.
Yeah, except at the end of Infinity War, like half of everybody dies. You kind of
but then they come back.
Yeah, then it's very like Superman returns again.
Yes,
for the third time. Your mom's name is Martha too. But anyway, where's I going with that? Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of, but for her specifically, I guess just because the rest of her team died, he still knew she was going to make it through.
From Amanda Waller's point of view, it made sense that she put her on the bad Suicide Squad team or the fake out one because those are like the people that she was trying to get rid of. She was like hoping they'd all die. And Harley Quinn really doesn't have a superpower, so why not just send her off to her death and be done with her?
Right.
But she survived.
True.
I like the fake out, another fake out on the movie. You don't know who the villain's going to be for a lot of the movie. You think it's going to be Mr. Dictator Man, and then she has a romance with Harley Quinn, and then she murders him right away.
The beast.
I'm sorry. Recently, I made a promise to myself that the next time I got a boyfriend, I'd be on the lookout for red flags. And if I saw any, I would do the healthy thing. And I would murder him.
Yes.
Which I thought was a fantastic twist.
I'm always on the lookout for red flags.
Killing children, that's kind of a red flag.
Yeah.
And killing kids, it's kind of a red flag.
But I like the dialogue is very well written. You could tell James Gunn was off the leash. he could do whatever he wanted.
Well, it was practically Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 or whichever one he's working on.
It's
it had so many of the Guardians in it.
Right, it's almost like a parallel what-if universe where if in a parallel universe Disney had purchased DC Comics, this movie would never have been made. But
Right.
But he got to use as much profanity as he wanted. He got to be as graphic with the violence as he wanted. He got to make the movie he wanted to make, and Warner Brothers really just let him have carte blanche.
We'll write you a check, and then we'll start just ranking in the checks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aha! You can't watch a Warner Brothers movie without a Warner Brothers ball cap.
This movie made me curious about what the negotiation process was for getting Sylvester Stallone into the movie.
He was awesome.
Did they pitch the movie to him like, here's the story arc, here's your character, this is what we're going to do? Or did they say, you get to go to a recording studio for 15 minutes, say 27 words, and we'll give you a sack of money? I'm guessing it was closer to the latter.
Is it talk?
Book read.
Wow. Book's upside down. You see that? He's pretending to read a book.
So smart, me. Enjoy books so much.
Be a mite careful, as he's developed a taste for human meat.
I think he just enjoys, some actors just enjoy being in movies.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Walken's another one. It doesn't take much to get him in a movie. He just likes to act. He just likes to be in movies. So he's in a lot of like kind of bad, smaller part movies. And I think, because Sylvester Stallone, and he might be good friends with James Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
They might know each other because Sylvester Stallone popped up in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's part of that lore now, and who knows, he might be in Volume 3 after this. I think he just, there's certain movie cliques. Like you have your Adam Sandler group, right?
True.
And I can't name the actors, but Steve Buscemi's one of them. Mm-hmm. And there's like a certain number of people that are always in every Adam Sandler movie somehow, right? Mm-hmm. And you have your J.J. Abrams group, where there's those people that are in every movie. And then, James Gunn he's got his brother. His brother played 2 parts in this movie. He played Weasel, and then he played the guy that was taunting Polka Dot Man, which I was expecting him to die in that scene. Like Polka Dot Man was going to kill him or something, but apparently he lived.
But I liked the Shark Man character.
He was awesome.
When I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh no, they really have an actual talking, walking shark. And then you pointed out to me that it's the same director that made a walking, talking tree.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I that you make a valid point. I'll go with it. And it worked way better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
Especially the introduction to him where he's holding a book upside down, like, I read smart. He holds up his hand.
And
Yes, that is your hand, Nanawe. Very good.
It's
He's
wonderful.
got a personality. Yeah,
It's
you
wonderful.
got to give him personality. Otherwise, he's just a one-dimensional character.
You wouldn't eat your friends, would you? No.
Well, that's the bottom line: is character growth. He grew as a character, and they all did. The one thing that really got me, that irked me, was Idris Elba's character. Let me back up a little bit too. So many of the characters besides Harley Quinn, the names are forgettable. I've forgotten most of them. I think one of them was Peacemaker. Mm-hmm. That's about it. Well,
He had a great line that says, I cherish peace. I don't care how many men, women, and children I have to kill to obtain it.
Yeah. 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 So, but Idris Elba, like, his character, whose name I don't remember right now, Bloodsport?
Bloodsport is a Van Damme movie.
Yes.
You got me. I can't remember.
Van Damme it. I think it was Bloodsport. But anyway, he's a dick to his daughter in the very beginning. Like a,
Oh, yeah, it's like
a
F you.
complete dick.
Yeah.
Like a complete dick. And like...
And then his daughter sees him on the news and all of a sudden is proud of him.
That's my dad.
Yeah, and like that. But the thing is, he's still a dick, and at the end, he's petting a rat, and that's his character development. Mm-hmm. It's like my daughter, but I'll take this rat. Like, no, that's character development in the wrong direction. And no offense to Idris Elba, he played the character that he was given, and he did a damn good job. But that character,
That piece of writing didn't work for you.
that did not. That did not work for me.
If they could have given, like in the original Suicide Squad movie, the Will Smith character and his kid, they have the very ending sequence where I don't know if you remember the movie at all, but Will Smith gets a little bit of reprieve from prison to spend some time with his daughter.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you.
And they get to connect, and that's like a little bit of a heartwarming sequence. This movie didn't give you that. And this was basically the Will Smith replacement character.
Yeah, which again, Idris Elba's kind of he's like, that was never my intent, but that's kind of what they did. But I don't remember Will Smith's character. Like most characters where we have this arc, like Ant-Man's a good example. Like the father and daughter are kind of estranged because, he's in prison, but at the same time they still have a relationship. They just can't really be together because of the circumstances. So he's fighting to get back with his daughter. And Bloodsport, like he just was a dick, and he was not trying to get back to his family. He literally said, "I never asked to be a father." At one point.
And you have a daughter that's not that much older than that character, and that probably played into it with you a little bit too. Like you couldn't imagine yelling at her.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. It's just like that. Yeah. It totally. Yeah. It wounded my heart. Like the scene where the guy gets
the literal stabbing in the heart.
Stabbing in the heart. Yeah. That was me. All in all, I didn't hate it. I thought it was good. I didn't I didn't like the monster. They lost me there, and
I couldn't make up. The movie couldn't make up its mind what it wanted to be there. It's part Godzilla movie.
Right.
It's part zombie movie.
Right.
It's part superhero movie, and it's just part action, bloody violence movie.
Right.
It's like all of those things at the same time. But I'll tell you what, though. I've seen a lot of superhero movies where I don't remember the villain like 5 minutes after watching the movie. Steppenwolf was a weak villain, especially in the original cut of the movie.
Though he did take us on a magic carpet ride.
The original Watchmen, good God, the original Suicide Squad movie had...
Same thing.
There's no blue penises.
That's true.
In the original
I
Suicide...
do appreciate that about this movie more than most people appreciate that.
In the original Suicide Squad movie, they had like Scary Witch Lady, which is immediately forgettable.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to forget about giant, colorful starfish smashing buildings.
Yeah. Well, that's true. It looked like he was having fun doing it.
I love you. You love me.
Like
Amanda Waller was the real villain of the movie.
She really was. Was she in the first one?
Yes.
She's the same character?
Yes.
I thought so. Okay.
She's the one that gave Bruce Wayne the dossier on superheroes when he was forming the Justice League. She works for the government agency that I forget the name of. I'll put it
DC
in
version of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, it's like Argus or something.
Your uncle, Argyle.
But she's runs the metahuman division of the U.S. government, basically. And in the first movie, she's not nice, but obviously she controls people with the suicide button. That's not really a nice thing to do, but they're convicted murderers, so there's that.
I don't know if I would be able to push a suicide button, to be honest.
It's not really a suicide button, it's a murder button.
It is a homicide button. Yeah, it is a homicide button.
But at the end, her team turned on her, and I liked that. They had a line that they couldn't cross, so they knocked her ass out and
and it was the everyday heroes that were just nobodies in an office and clubbed her with a 9-iron. Actually, no, that was a 1 wood, I think. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, this is the biggest difference between DC movies and Marvel movies at this point is Marvel. Well, that too. Marvel is mastered the cinematic universe of everything being interconnected and being one gigantic thing. DC tried to do that, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So what I think DC's doing now is letting individual movie makers make their film, and if they're connected, great. If they're not, great. Let them do their own artistic thing, because Marvel movies have a little bit of a similarity to each other. It's a movie factory. They're good. They know how to make a good movie, but they're kind of similar to each other after a while.
Oh, yeah.
Where DC, I mean, the Joker movie is extremely different from the Suicide Squad movie, which is extremely different from Shazam.
Oh, yeah, Shazam.
So I think DC's going in a direction where they've finally figured out they don't have to be Marvel anymore to make it work.
Yeah, and that's really, they need to have their own identity because, it's like the Coke or Pepsi thing. Like, neither of them are ever going to gain a competitive advantage. Mm-hmm. They have to be their own thing. It has to be like Coke and 7-Up, I mean, if you want one thing, you go get that.
Would you recommend Suicide Squad? The Suicide Squad.
It's like it's not Ohio State. It's the Ohio State.
I don't like when movies do that, by the way. Like, Marvel did it a little too.
Well,
they there's the movie Captain America: The Winter Soldier, but after Falcon ended, they had Captain America and the Winter Soldier is the title card. It's almost the same title.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I never really thought about it.
There's like Predator and Predators and The Predator. And I don't even know if I'm getting the order of those right.
I'm not really into Michael Jackson movies. Although Captain EO was kind of cool.
Yeah, I miss the good old days in the 80s when they just stuck a number at the end of it and you knew what was going on.
Well, that's how they want to divide them out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So you have the volumes of
phases.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, right, yeah.
So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, Volume 2.
At least they have the numbers. Yeah, and Iron Man 1, 2, and 3 had the numbers, but Thor the Dark World, Captain America the First Avenger, Captain America the Winter Soldier.
Right. But that's how they, that's just how they decided
to do it. If you weren't a Marvel fan and you saw Thor the Winter Soldier, or no, not Thor the Winter Soldier would be an interesting movie. But like, would you know the difference between Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder if you weren't a Marvel fan? Which one comes first? I like the friggin' number.
I get it. But you know what? Just watch our videos and you'll understand which movies to watch in what order.
That's true. Disney, you should refer everybody to Sound and Fury's website, our YouTube channel, or whatever this is, and we will tell you exactly what you are supposed to think about Marvel.
Yes, as if you had a giant starfish on your face.
Yes. By the way, this movie reminded me of Star Trek.
I'm sure it did.
There's an episode of the original series where these flying things latched onto you and controlled your mind.
Wolverine.
Gotcha. Kind of reminded me of Aliens, really. Yeah.
Well,
actually, it reminded me of Avengers Endgame, where Peter Parker says, "Please don't lay your eggs in my chest." Actually, no, I think that was Infinity War. But anyway, yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about Suicide Squad. But I liked it more than I liked the original Suicide Squad movie. The original Suicide Squad movie got bad reviews, got a bad reputation. It was pretty universally decided that it was a not good movie, but I liked it. I liked the Birds of Prey movie, which was basically Suicide Squad 2, even though they didn't call it that.
Yeah.
This was basically Suicide Squad 3. And by the way, they did a good job of restraining themselves a little bit by not making it the Harley Quinn movie. It really was an ensemble.
Right.
Where Harley Quinn got her due, but she wasn't the main character where that's always about her.
Right.
And I appreciated that.
True. Very
anyway,
true.
Adios, sayonara, and until next time.
Here's how to order.
Starfish is a slang term for a butthole. Think there's any connection?
I turned them into my mother in my head and killed them.
I'm the one who called you.